God damn it, bro. It's past midnight. I can't even go to bed because every time I close my eyes, I just see this haunting image of 22-1. But in all seriousness, I am recording a little bit late today, which is why I'm not in the bedroom with the usual setup. The girlfriend is sleeping, so I'm out here in the living room because I just got done doing the Basement Sports Network post-game show, which is live on the Basement Sports YouTube. So make sure y'all go check that out. I dropped a brilliant ad/skit for our sponsor, Simple Health Advisors over there, and along with the player spotlight of the game. And back around the BAM screen, crosses around the screen and pulls for three. Kaboom! Tyler Hero cuts the deficit to 36 points. And if y'all love this channel, you'll love that as well. They'll be tagged down below. But enough of that promo. I wanted to come over here on my personal channel and share my thoughts for what was a pretty embarrassing game, just straight up embarrassing, I feel is the best way to say that. And I wasn't gonna do a video just because, like I said, I got it recorded out here. If y'all are new here, first off, like, subscribe, helps me out a ton. I do appreciate it. Just hit 3K subs. But if y'all are new here, this isn't the usual setup. We usually have some fancy lights and a signed Jimmy Butler jersey, which I may have to throw away because that man's basketball IQ is terrible. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to get a post-game video reaction out because I've been doing them for the last several games. And I didn't want y'all to think that I was a coward now that the Heat finally lost the game. So we here. And of course, y'all know the Heat started this game off up 22-1. And if you thought the Heat lead was safe, you must be new to Heat fandom because no lead is ever safe with the Miami Heat. I certainly didn't feel great. Now, did I expect it to be a tie game late in the fourth quarter? Yes, I actually did. Did I expect them to lose the game? No, absolutely not. And I sent several messages to my boys in the group chat telling them how confident I was, all to look like an idiot. Big thanks to that is Jimmy Butler, who I don't want to give too much crap to because he was great to start the game and did finish with 25 points on 8 of 16 shooting. So he was at 50%, which is fine. You know what? Scratch all this. I want to start off by saying that I acknowledge this is game, what is this? This is game like 13 of 82, something like that. It means really nothing. And I'm not overreacting, but considering this is a Miami Heat YouTube channel, I will react to the game. So I just want to put that into perspective out there. If I do sound angry, if I do sound annoyed, I slightly am, but I understand in the grand scheme of things, this means absolutely nothing. Most likely. I mean, it's games like this that could make the difference between being a 7 seed and a 6 seed, you know, when you do get to April, but we'll worry about that when the time comes down there. But Jimmy Butler, why is he taking those terrible shots at the end of games? This is nothing new, but because it's more relevant than ever with tonight's game, that's something that I want to bring up. It just seems like the Heat got late in the fourth quarter, the game was getting close, and they just said, screw playing offense. Let's just be stupid. That's the reason this was more frustrating than just another loss, you know, aside from the embarrassing blown lead portion of it, is because I feel like it was all self-inflicted wounds. Chicago was playing great defense, sure, but Miami didn't even attempt to move the ball. Every time they tried to post up Bam, he caught it at the three-point line for some reason. You had Kyle Lowry take a terrible three with no ball movement. You had Jimmy Butler take back-to-back terrible shots. One of the threes, which he did make to tie the game, I'll give him credit. But I think with Jimmy, maybe he got too carried away with the whole 50% shooting and all that stuff. And like I said, I don't care. I have enough faith that come playoff time, he will play serious, I guess. Although in the NBA Finals, he did do these stupid threes again. But I think maybe there was just the ankle. He couldn't drive. I don't know. We know Jimmy doesn't value the regular season. He was just out there tonight trying to have fun versus former team in Chicago, I guess. Like I said, it's just one loss out of 82. Not that big a deal. Just win the next game on Monday, of course. But it was annoying because I feel like it was all self-inflicted, like I was saying. And for a veteran team that has a superstar closer, that has a high IQ point guard in Kyle Lowry, Twitter's words, not mine, you shouldn't be having these terrible late game executions versus a bad Bulls team on the second night of a back-to-back who's internally imploding as is. So from that aspect, it is 100% just a bad loss. I want to talk a little bit about Duncan Robinson, who was awesome today, man. Another great game for him. 17 and 7 assists, was 4 or 5 from 3. But I want to just talk about the versatility of him. If you would have told me a year ago, 2 years ago, that I'd be putting Duncan Robinson and versatile in the same sentence, I would have never believed in you. But we see him not only scoring from inside and outside. I think they said he has like just rough estimates here, like 32 threes this year and like 26 twos, which is, very, very close when you look at proportionally there, which is not something we had ever seen from Duncan Robinson, in his 3-4 years since really being a part of this rotation. But on top of that, his defense is obviously improved and his playmaking is absolutely 100%, like no doubt about it, improved. I mean, these passes that we're making, we've seen him over the last couple of years do the pick and pops with Bams or the pick and rolls with Bam. Some of those passes are actually very, very nice, finding Bam on timely cuts with perfect accuracy. But even what we saw tonight, that beautiful like wraparound one-hand bounce pass, so I think it was Jimmy coming baseline, that takes like true vision, and he has a lot of passes like that I think we've seen this year that show that he is not just a three-point shooter. He's not just a scorer. He is now just a very, very great offensive threat. And actually, his numbers from Tyler Hero aren't that different since Tyler went down. Duncan's about like 2 points per game less and on much higher efficiency. But we're not going to do the Tyler Hero thing today. We may eventually. We may do it later this week, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to say, is this team better with Tyler Hero still after the loss? A lot of people may say Tyler Hero would have helped, but their fourth quarter execution was pretty bad when he was here. And I felt like the reason they were bad today in the fourth quarter was because the lack of ball movement. And Tyler Hero really doesn't help that. So I'm not sure he would have made a difference today. You could say, hey, he's a go-to bucket. That's what you need in the fourth quarter. But let's not act like they've been perfect late game execution when Tyler was here either. But I will just say, I don't think this team is better without Tyler Hero, but I do think they may be better with him coming off the bench. So I will leave it at that. And Bam Adebayo was very interesting today. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, but 8 of 12 shooting. Now, he did have 8 free throw attempts, which is a good amount. So there is some aggressiveness there. And those are obviously shot attempts that are now free throws. But still, 12 shots for me is a problem. I feel like he was 8 for 11, like midway through the third quarter, and took 1 shot after that. He was absolutely cooking. You knew he was on fire from the first quarter, hit that tough bang, bang, Kobe fadeaway at the buzzer there. He also was in his bag in like the early second half, I think, doing the D-Wade pump fake on the midi, going up, drawing the foul. He did that a couple of times, actually. So he was awesome, man. Just doing those moves there. You love to see that from Bam. It shows that just, again, versatility from Bam. When you talk about another guy that took a clear jump this season, that's Bam. The part that's frustrating is the shot attempts. They went away from that. Why? I'm not sure if it was on Jimmy Butler kind of trying to do too much at the end, if it was Kyle Lowry being Kyle Lowry. I don't know if it was other guys not getting the ball or if it wasn't Bam demanding the ball. Because a lot of times we've seen Bam in the past get the ball, pass it out. Back up, have an open shot at, the 3 to mid-range, pass it out. Look for Duncan Robinson. I don't even feel like Bam got a lot of touches today in the second half, which sucks, man. 24 points, unguardable by Vucevic, step-back jumpers. I don't know why they just didn't keep giving it back to him, which is another reason that this was just a quite really frustrating loss. Elsewhere in the starting lineup, we got Hayward Highsmith, vintage Hayward Highsmith, because he was terrible on offense today. I was going to say a word worse than terrible, but you don't look for Highsmith on offense. You'd like him to at least be capable, look like a basketball player out there. He didn't, but he was awesome defensively as always, and he was a plus 20. I don't think that's a coincidence because, like I said, I'm a converted Highsmith believer. Starting a couple games ago, I'm not going to jump ship that quick. Now, maybe I'll jump ship later in the year, but for now, I am a Highsmith guy, so I do like what he brings to the table. I don't feel like talking about Kyle Lowry. Kevin Love is Brick City. My God. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. with only 6 points tonight in 22 minutes, but I still love what he brings to the table. I would have liked to see him play the whole fourth quarter. He did the previous 4 or 5 games in which I felt like they were better in the fourth quarter. He's a guy that won't force it out there. He's a guy that if he gets the ball at the 3-point line, he'll shoot a couple. He made one today, but he will look to get into the post, get to the basket, put his body into somebody, and that's the type of offense I think they could have needed in the fourth quarter. He came in late, but I think personally, I would like to see him and Highsmith. A lot of people are saying either or. I would like to see both of them. Maybe get Kyle Lowry's ass the hell out of there because he ain't doing no high IQ stuff out there. They not playing offense. He ain't doing nothing with regards to settling the team down. So maybe keep Jay Rich in there, who hit some shots today. Defense has been fine. Give me Highsmith, get me Jaime, and then you got Bam and Jimmy in there. Of course, until Tyler comes back. And if not Jay Rich, you could have did Duncan Robinson today because he was obviously shooting very well. But point is, I think I'd like to see Jaime close games for this team going forward. And shout out to Caleb Martin, man. He's looked. Well, I was gonna say he looked good, but he was 2 for 9 today, so he didn't play great by any means. But he looked good as far as physically because he had a nasty dunk earlier in the game, which I was like, okay, I guess the knee's feeling good, and that personally made me feel good. But of course, I still give him, a couple more weeks to truly get his body back under him because he only played 15 minutes tonight. And I think by the end of the season, he's a guy that could be like kind of the main 6th man on this team. And we're talking, close to 30 minutes tonight, probably even more than that. On the Bulls side, DeMar DeRozan hit the big shot down the stretch, 23 points, which, by the way, I think Jaime Jaquez covered beautifully. Great defense, but that's what DeMar does. And then Zach LaVine was pretty terrible. 13 points on only 5 of 10 shooting. Did hit some big threes in the second half. But if he was trying to showcase his talents to come to the Miami Heat, it really didn't work all that well today. But some of the other guys, Heat fans, like Caruso, he played really well. Vucevic, he was okay, but I don't really feel like nobody else on the Bulls side is too relevant there, other than, I guess, Kobe White, who hit some monster shots and stuff. But we'll see this team again on Monday. The way the schedule was, playing them back-to-back in Chicago, I always believed it'd be a split, so I do feel pretty confident going into the next game. That's a game that I think they have to win now. You don't want to lose back-to-back to the same team in their city, but I do feel good about it. It's just frustrating that this team keeps getting in their own way and just for no reason whatsoever stops playing offense when the games get late. But that's really all I got to say for this video. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe for me staying up late to get this video out to y'all. I was mad after the game, but doing the Basement Sports post game, it really does make me, not care as much because we have a great time over there. So just want to shout them out again. But like the video and subscribe. I do appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.